a country that does not reward its heroes is not worth dying for. It is the reason why this Farmers' Day idea is very, very important. But we cannot talk about or speak of this Farmers' Day without also going back to history and remembering or identifying whose idea this whole Farmers' Day came to be. And I think the Minister of Agric must take note of this, and next year they must do whatever it takes to honor the person, the originator of this whole Farmers' Day idea. We tend to overlook some of these things, and it demoralizes a lot of people. There is this gentleman, he's an elderly person anyway, and interestingly he's also in this administration. Mr. Mike Kofi Afro. I understand he is the board chair of Financial Intelligence Center. Yeah. You see, in 1983, you know the history of this country. We had gone into a very terrible drought situation. There were bushfires everywhere. And so Ghana experienced food shortage. There was hunger. Those were the days we were very young, but I experienced some, where if you were able to get cassava, rotten one to eat, you were a hero. I mean, the few bourgeois were the ones that were eating rice in Accra, but majority of Ghanaians were in terrible situation. And so the country, it affected our cocoa, it affected our food crops and so on and so forth. So the PNDC administration in those days established what we call the cocoa rehabilitation camps, and the headquarters of it was in Kwabin in the eastern region. So in Kwabin they put in place what we call the National Mobilization Program, which was later shortened to be Mobi Squad. In those days it was very common, Mobi Squad. It was in these engagements that Mr. Mike Afro floated this whole idea of honoring the memories of our farmers, because farmers are giving up. They wanted to move away from farming because of what they had experienced in 1983 to other areas of business. But then this idea emanating from him encouraged farmers to continue to be in business, to be in the business of doing farming, and that is how come we have Farmers' Day today. Given this recognition to Mr. Mike Afro must also go with the fact that Mr. Steve Obimpe, who was then the coordinator for the program, PV Obin, Zach Bentum, Amate, and Kofi Potofi. Is Kofi Potofi still alive?
Yeah, he's around.
They did a yeoman's job, and I think as a country, some of these histories must be recounted and then recognizing their efforts. This will encourage more people who have ideas to know that once you bring an idea that becomes a national as to a policy, you will be recognized in future. So Mr. Mike Afro, wherever you may be, if the nation will not recognize you today, on behalf of the United Party, I want to recognize you as being the originator of the Farmers' Day. And I will write on top of it to the Minister for Agric, not to, as it were, take him out. Next time he has to be recognized, so that at least his soul will be pacified for coming out with that idea.